In 2017, I was able to win the Michigan no-till irrigated yield, 296. And my seed rep from the co-op come out and he was like, I gotta see your soil samples. Like, I gotta see what kind of soil can grow 296 bushel. I go, there's nothing really special. It's just, you know, it's just the system. And he just couldn't wrap his head around that. Kyle Huff in here in Coldwater, Michigan. In 2014, I had a really bad year, just kind of bad fertilizer decisions and heavy rains kind of really, you know, washed the nitrogen out. So the yields were horrible. When I met Brad, and he kind of looked at what I was doing and kind of introduced me to the Ag Spectrum system. And when he explained it, it was, I was taken. I'm like, this sounds like what I should be doing. The basic science of it all was new to me. You know, I just relied on what the agronomist told me, whether it was true or not.
One of the things I noticed right away with Kyle is his curiosity, and he was very open to new ideas and change. It was his attention to detail that I have really come to appreciate, because this system is focusing on a lot of little details. We're not telling him how to farm, but in the constraints of the maximum farming system, we can expect the results that we're obtaining and develop a long-lasting partnership. These soils are very sandy, very coarse, low single-digit CEC values, fairly low organic matter. In our region, the consensus is to apply quite a lot of potash every season and at least apply removal of phosphorus. And what we're seeing in Kyle's soil test values does not indicate that that is the approach that needs to be taken, and it certainly does not make financial sense.
When he kind of explained how phosphorus actually worked, it kind of clicked and made sense. After going to Clean Start phosphorus in furrow and just seeing the results, it's the first year I did it, it was boom, you know, I knew that's what I needed, and corn took off that first year, and it was like that much difference in height on the corn. As compared to what I'd seen in years before, the ear fill, you know, at that V3 stage, needing that phosphorus, this has been phenomenal. It shows that what those nutrient needs are early on, and I never knew that before being on the system.
Previously, Kyle was getting recommendations that weren't working for his farm. Then, in a matter of 3 years, he's growing award-winning corn for NCGA. So that just speaks to what you're always hearing in the market isn't the right thing for your farm, and that's where Ag Spectrum, I believe, unlocked a whole new potential for him.
The crop needs that nutrient at a certain time, and you got to give it to it if you want good results. I dove full in. I'm glad I did.
That first season, he made a tremendous leap, a lot of changes with the planter, and pretty much how he was doing everything on that planter pass and that early in the season change. He also implemented some foliars, and that was a big success that added to his confidence.
I just made some changes to the planter and just added the in-furrow, which really wasn't too hard. And ever since, I've tweaked the system more and more on the planter to really improve efficiency and make sure I'm getting proper rate, proper placement. If you try to do it all in 1 year, it's just overwhelming. You just start simple and go from there. So now everything is rate controlled, in-furrow 2x2, precision, V-drive. Every row is individual shut-off, so I'm trying to not waste fertilizer if I can help it. My soil tests over the past 10 years on the program have been pretty consistent. And sometimes you'll find some spots that might need attention, and you dry apply to cover those issues, but it's not a whole farm application. It's pretty negligible. With the Grozyme, you're feeding the bacteria that pull that out of the soil for you, and the yields are holding up quite well. Prior to the system, I think my overall average on corn was, I might have been 175. And now today, we're probably pushing 220, just slow rise. Soybeans, kind of the same, you know. They were probably 45 to 50, and now I'm pushing more 60, 65 average. Every 4 or 5 years we'll sublet to tomatoes or potatoes. I offered my ground to a respected local farmer. They hesitated to utilize the ground due to just that misconception that the system mined the soil as we focus on efficiency. But when their test came back showing more than adequate levels, they were pretty satisfied with the results.
What is so right about what we do is we take all these other facets in growing a crop and we bring it into a workable, manageable way that we can make positive differences on a farm. We're here to try and find those little things that matter that everyone else is overlooking or just don't care enough to bring to the table.
I don't pretend to know everything, and you have that kind of network that you can converse with. It really helps. I continue to stick with it. You continue to see your yields improve over a period of time. You know what you're doing is right. Why jump away from it? You know what the plant needs. You know the science, so you stick with it.